Hello there. Coop hired me to do a little bit of dirty work for him. I have hacked the Virginia Tech website. I'm in the process of doing some very, very bad things. Yes, it looks like we are officially in. But what to do? I got it. Yes. Now what, Mr. Drones?
What's going on, Canes fans? It looks like it's finally time for that business trip to Blacksburg. Typically a tough place to play, but the Hokies have underperformed this season, to put it lightly. But hey, it is November, and this is a Mario Cristobal coach team. Back-to-back convincing wins is good, but the Canes once again find themselves needing style points if they want to sneak into the college football playoffs. But before we dive into this preview, let me know if you're a college football fan by hitting that subscribe button. Yes, I'm still trying to hit 28,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of November, and we only need around 300 more. So help me out, and let's go ahead and make you part of the family officially. Plus, I've heard there's free tacos 7 days a week. Now, I do feel like I should mention that Virginia Tech did announce the hiring of their new head coach, James Franklin, a very big name, someone that everyone is familiar with, but it doesn't really help them for this game specifically. I mean, it is definitely some really big news, and I feel like there's going to be plenty of headlines out there talking about how this is going to energize the fans. It's going to inject some extra hype into this game, knowing that change is on the way. And I've heard that James Franklin is supposed to be in attendance for this game, but it's not like he's going to be on the sidelines coaching. So does it really impact this game in any way? I don't know about that. What I do know is that I had somewhat lofty expectations for quarterback Kyron Drones this season, but it's not been pretty. He's only thrown for a little over 1,700 yards and is completing roughly 58% of his passes. Yes, I said 58%. Now, we all know that he likes to run the ball, and he's done that a lot this year, totaling 578 yards and 9 touchdowns on the ground. But teams no longer respect his arm, and I totally understand why. Heck, he only threw the football 18 times against Florida State last week, and somehow one of them still managed to be an interception. Drones has committed the second most turnover-worthy plays in the ACC, and it's honestly just straight up embarrassing. Disgusting! Now, they do have a pretty good running back in Hawkins, who is averaging 6.2 yards per carry, but this Virginia Tech offense is super one-dimensional, and running the ball is about all we can talk about here. It's all they do. Their O-line grades out as one of the worst in the country in pass and run blocking at 132 and 118. I guess maybe the interior of their D-line isn't too bad. They are quite a physical team. I mean, they're going to get after it, and their leading tackler on defense is actually linebacker Caleb Spencer, which you guys might recognize because he actually transferred from Miami. Now, this is not me just trying to take a straight dump on Virginia Tech and only talk about the negatives, but the reality is that it's mostly negatives when it comes to Virginia Tech. But funny enough, hold on just a second here, they did beat NC State earlier this season. The Hokies might not be good, but you do always have to be careful when playing an injured rabid dog, or turkey in this case. For Miami, this absolutely looks like a dream matchup on paper. The Hokies are pitiful in the second half of games, and we all know that Miami typically plays their best in the final two quarters of games. And Miami's defense is currently number 3 in the country in rushing yards allowed per game at 81.8. And you're going up against a one-dimensional Hokies offense that runs the ball a lot. This sounds like a recipe for disaster for Virginia Tech. I mean, Miami is coming off of a game where they held Hollywood Smothers to -2 yards rushing in that NC State game. And I would like to remind you that Smothers was actually leading the ACC in total rushing yards going into that game. But at the end of the day, let's keep it real here, the games are not played on paper. And Miami does still have a ton of pressure on them as they're trying to sneak into the college football playoffs. So not only do they need a win, they need a dominant one. So let's take a quick look at the history between these two teams. Miami and Virginia Tech have faced off 41 times, with the Canes leading that series 26-15. The most recent matchup was last year with a final score of 38-34, Miami on top. It was that game that had the crazy ending. Was it a catch? Was it not a catch? Definitely wasn't, but there were some arguments online for weeks after that happened. I will also show you some average stats so far this season for both teams. And coming into this game, Virginia Tech is averaging 23 points per game, Miami 34. Points allowed against them, 30 for Virginia Tech, a very respectable 14 here for Miami. Yards gained per game, 359 for Virginia Tech, 428 for Miami. Yards allowed, 374 for Tech, 271 for the Canes. And third down conversion percentage, 43% for Virginia Tech, 46% for Miami. And we could break it down a little bit more here. We're looking at total yards gained average per game. You have 359 for Virginia Tech. What this doesn't show is they're averaging 172 passing and 188 rushing. If you thought Miami was a run-heavy team, they're averaging 270 passing and 158 rushing. So that's 172 passing per game for Virginia Tech, 270 for Miami. That's wild. Let's also talk 3 keys to a victory for Miami in this one, powered by the #1 sports app, Sleeper. This app is truly the best way to experience and connect over sports together. It really is a one-stop shop for all of your sports needs. Check this out.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code COOP. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
So that's right. Make sure that you use code word COOP to activate that 100% deposit match on your first deposit up to $100 and win yourself some real money in those picks contest. So coming in here at #1 for Miami, be ready to stop the run because this is a very one-dimensional Hokies team. I know that I continue to speak on this, but it's the truth. Miami's run defense has been elite this season, but I wouldn't expect Virginia Tech to get away from that aspect of their game because it's really all they have. So you've got to be prepared to stop that run game. And part of that means containing Kyron Drones and forcing him to stay in the pocket to try to beat you through the air because he's going to run the ball. So it's kind of a two-parter here. He's obviously going to run the ball a lot. They have a ton of QB designed runs for him. Try to keep him in the pocket. Know that you've got to stop the run and be prepared for it because it's what they do best. It's what they lean on. It's what they're going to be forced to do. but you definitely got to try to keep Drones in the pocket and force him to throw at the same time. Number 2, you need another fast start in this one because it's not uncommon for Virginia Tech to play a decent first half. They were actually up 20-10 on Vandy, and they were also beating Louisville at halftime. They tend to play poorly, though, in the second half, but I'd still rather Miami not have to play catch-up. If you are up at halftime, Miami will have them right where they want them. And lastly, give the bulk of the carries to running back Gerard Pringle. His workload increased in a big way against NC State, and he was up for the challenge, picking up over 100 yards on the ground. He has changed the way this offense looks, and his positive yards on first down could be crucial. This guy looks special. Continue to feed him. So it's about that time for my pick and score prediction for this game. But let's not forget to revisit the virtual season where the final score in the CPU versus CPU version, well, I had to do a double take here, was 65-13, Canes on top. I don't really remember exactly what happened here, and I feel like that it surprised a lot of people. I'll just say that I hope that this is the score in real life. As far as the Coach Coop plays version, it was a close one, as it usually is, but we did come out on top 30-26. Now, we do still need to check in with the Pickle, who I would like to add has been a little bit mouthy lately. Pickle predicts! All right, Mr. Pickle, listen up. I'm done being respectful. You just need to tell me straight up, will Miami beat Virginia Tech this Saturday afternoon?
Of course, yes!
Sometimes you just got to manhandle the Pickle. And you better believe that my boy Max is locked in and ready to give you guys his pick. Okay, he's had plenty of time to sleep on it, on his new Christmas blanket. Come on. Let's see what he goes with. Straight to the Miami logo. That was pretty confident, too. So as you can see, both the Pickle and Max were wrong last week, but those two are kind of neck and neck right now. It's going to be a close one. But let's get down to it. Let's do this thing. The ESPN matchup predictor gives Miami a whopping 90.2% chance to win this game, with Virginia Tech sitting at 9.8%. And right now, Miami is a 17.5 point favorite, with the over-under at 48.5 points. I don't have my marker. This is not a good sign. I'll be right back. Okay, we have retrieved the marker. I'm going to go ahead and give Miami 42 points. Man, y'all are probably going to think I'm crazy. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Talk to me after I show you this. And I'm going to give Virginia Tech 10. That is a 32-point victory for Miami, who is a 17.5 point favorite. Look, it's cool that Virginia Tech, they found their big-name head coach, but all he can do realistically is sit and watch this year while Miami rolls into Blacksburg and delivers a beatdown so bad that he might be the only one left in the crowd before this game is over. Look, I'm not making this prediction just because Miami needs style points. This is not me trying to will it into existence. This is just a bad Virginia Tech team, period. And that's really all I have to say about it. This is a matchup nightmare for the Hokies, and I have to believe that based on the way Miami has been playing lately, that trend will continue. You know, obviously, I'm always a little scared when it comes to the November games. I never shy away from being very vocal about that, but they had the November slip up early, right? November 1st, right at the beginning of the month against SMU. They beat up on Syracuse. They did the same against NC State. This is a Virginia Tech team that I throw in a similar category with those teams. I mean, NC State's better than Virginia Tech, but the point I'm trying to make is they're not a good football team. Miami should handle business in a big, flashy way. The opportunity for the style points is absolutely there. And I think that they win in a very, very big way. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. You know what to do. Don't forget about the Friday night call-in show. I'm still trying to give somebody $600. So many people have been just really, really close, within 1 to 3 total points. All you got to do is call into the show on Friday night, predict the correct score for this game. I give you $600. I mean, you could take 3 to 5 minutes out of your night and call into the show. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. But until then, remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.